What's up, y'all? It's your boy Niner Faithful. How's everybody doing? I know everyone. Well, I hope everyone's having. I don't know if everyone's having a legendary day. I wouldn't say my day is legendary, but shit, never mind. Any day you wake up a five-time champion, it's a legendary day. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and break down the 2023 schedule. Spoiler alert: I don't like a lot of the games. I haven't really sat down and thought about record or anything like that, but spoiler alert, we're not exactly the most thrilled about it. We're gonna go ahead and get that. We signed some draft picks, got some housekeeping to do. But before we get into that today, we of course got to remind everybody to help out Niner Faithful Radio by using our shop49ers.com affiliate link. Link is in the description of the podcast or video. Go to cgiant.com, use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio, save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio, and Twitter at Niner Faithful R. Jason does a bang up job on our social. To see everywhere you can subscribe to the show, go ahead and visit ninerfaithfulradio.com/subscribe, and make sure you stay tuned to the end of the show for your special 10% off coupon code for the Faithful by the Faithful Season 2 apparel. Ladies and gentlemen, faithful of all ages, let's get the show cracking.
Rice has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana, touchdown, John Taylor.
What's cracking, Jason? How you doing, bro?
What's up, man? Just chilling. It's actually finally got some nice weather up here. Just trying to enjoy it.
Oh yeah, it's hot as shit up here right now. It's like 85,
Yeah,
something like that,
same,
90. Yeah. So real quick, the Niners went ahead and signed the whole entire draft.
That's it, folks.
that was
See you next week.
Oh God, I know, right? That was just like when I saw that, I was like, thank God that we just get it out of the way. That
Has there ever been a time where like any team hasn't signed like a majority of their draft picks? I mean, it's just
no.
like it's almost like I just don't report it if something doesn't happen. Like your second round draft pick didn't sign. Okay, well now it's a story.
You have a Michael Crabtree situation.
Yeah.
That would have been the one that sticks into my mind the most. That's actually been the closest I've ever. Matter of fact, that's the only reason I know the rule that he would have re-entered the draft if he didn't sign with the Niners. So that's the only reason I know that rule is because of Michael Crabtree. Matter of fact, I want to say maybe even in Niner history, that might be the only time that a pick wasn't signed going into the season.
As far as I can tell, that's the only one I can remember. Because pretty much everybody else.
That's definitely the only one I can remember.
Yeah, it's usually within the first week. Everybody's there. They've got ink dry, everything like that. So, but yeah, give me that.
But to credit, it was before your salary and everything and the contract length and all that was predetermined.
Oh yeah, I'm glad we don't have.
This was a straight up contract negotiation with Michael Crabtree.
Yeah, I'm glad we don't have that BS to where everybody has to negotiate their contract in the first round and all that.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad it's set. Like, look, you're a rookie. You should not be making more than Tom Brady at 10 years in or something like that.
Yeah.
All that BS that's happening. I mean, you're a rookie. Shut up and take what you're getting.
I don't like. I've always been. You treat the new guy with the same respect that you treat.
The
vet. But there is, I don't want to say it. Like
there's a pecking order.
Perfect example. My supervisor and I, we got our cash tips last week. She shared what she got. I shared what I got. Right, just like general conversation. And she made $25 more than me. And I was like, you know what? That's fair. You're the supervisor, and you've been here longer. You know what I'm saying? It'd be weird if I made more tips than you. without you taking time off and other factors.
We had a
like you said, it'd be weird if Tom Brady, who I will preface this by saying the greatest quarterback I watched his whole career. Joe Montana is the greatest quarterback to ever live. But the greatest quarterback I watched personally, and I'm not saying that I watched that much Tom Brady, but in my lifetime, it's Tom Brady. It's not even close.
Yeah.
But no, you're not a rookie. Is not making more than Tom Brady. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I think it also is a little bit of a motivator. Of course, I can understand the player side, especially if you look, I got family to feed. I got family to get out the ghetto. Like my whole family, like I could lose my whole family in one night. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But like there are people out there like that. But anyway, awesome. Good to see. We'll get into rookie mini camp. We might have to postpone next week's show, but the next week's show we will get into some rookie mini camp. It's a mandatory mini camp. It's that time of year. Jason, eventually, when did you say that's starting, bro? That you're
June 4th, I believe, is the first day. June 1st, whatever that Tuesday is. Let me look it up real quick.
Okay, and then you said around camp, right? You'd be back.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's like raining or something and we ain't going, she's not gonna.
Yeah.
I'll jump in, but
we'll talk.
Yeah,
we'll talk off here.
It won't be the entire summer, just most of it.
I mean, and I told you honestly, I might take a day off myself, especially if situations happen. So anyway, first thoughts when the 2023 schedule came out. I don't like prime time games.
Let's pull it up real quick.
Yeah. Pop it up, Jason.
Hey, I hate this schedule with a passion.
Okay. So back-to-back road games to start the season. You knew that was happening.
That happens. That's not abnormal.
That's not abnormal. Love the preseason schedule. Why do we not have this preseason schedule every year?
Because look, man, we have to have Jimmy on the schedule. We cannot get rid of Jimmy G.
We can't. Anyway, I don't understand why this isn't just our preseason schedule every year.
I'd be down.
We play the Chargers every year automatically.
Yeah.
I understand. Of course, there was the no Battle of the Bays, for a while. So the Raiders, okay, understandably, you're not obviously going to play a divisional team.
Yeah.
So
and rotate whoever the third is. That'd be all right.
I'd even go even if you went Denver, San Diego, and Kansas City.
Yeah. You talking about just keeping like an AFC West thing?
Yeah, or just keep it an AFC West thing. I would think.
That's the only connection I can see.
Don't
see
don't quote me on this. And I can understand if it's years we play them, we switch it up, because we don't want to give them any advantages or anything. So fine, but I'm pretty sure that if you thought of an AFC team, besides obviously the three you see before you, Kansas City would be the closest AFC team besides, Denver, San Diego, or LA, and Vegas.
Yeah, I think maybe Houston next after that.
Maybe.
Because everything else.
I don't know. You're talking about, that area. Which I could naturally see the Texans becoming a common preseason, just easy. Hey, D'Amico, how we run practice. Yeah, I could definitely. Do you see that happening?
Yeah, I could easily see that one. Like you said, that's a common one for us. Common denominator between all these teams. Close West Coast. You want to change it up a bit?
Connections.
Give D'Amico a try. Yeah.
Connection.
You could push it and even maybe call Salah, which I don't think they would do that just because it's too far. But if you want to keep it local, within too far away. But
I would prefer. I would prefer to go to Detroit versus Kansas City.
You rather go where?
I said I'd rather go to Detroit than Kansas City.
For practice purposes?
Yeah. Preseason practice purposes.
I'd rather take KC just because it keeps it out of the conference.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
It also depends on who we're playing in the season, depending on what the rotating schedule is. You don't want to see, like if we're playing the AFC West, obviously we're probably not going to have these three up top.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where I could, yeah. So we're not gonna necessarily break it down game by game. We're gonna kind of take a general look at it. But opening up in Pittsburgh, I have no problem with that. A sneaky game. I put it just top of my head. I put a dub there, just because I believe we're better than the Steelers. But at the back of my mind, I hear at Chicago, September 11th.
Wow. I'll say this right now. This Steeler team is better than them Bears.
Yeah. They're a better team than the Bears. Week 1, I mean, that's their home opener, obviously.
Yeah.
Let's be real. I still believe the Niners have the greatest fan base in the NFL, but you can't deny that the Steel Curtain is strong.
It's real. Yeah.
I
don't really like it just because if you look at the last 2 seasons, they've beaten Kansas City and the Bills, 2 Super Bowl contenders, and a Super Bowl winner. It's opening
They're
weekend.
A team that it's like. I remember talking to some Pittsburgh fans last in 2019 when on the light rail on the way to the game, or on the way to the tailgate before the game. And I was talking to him, and I was like, it's gotta feel good that you could just now. Like, let's be real. Imagine my mindset here. We had just came off of 2017, 2018. Yeah, we're 2-0. Going into week 3 and everything like that. But this isn't week 12 of 2019. This is week 3. In a game, let's be real. Anyway, so I remember talking to Steeler fans, and I said it might be nice just to chalk up at the time, 8, 9, 10 wins. Like Pittsburgh's just those teams that like something's got to go wrong if they don't go 8-8, or I guess 9-7, 8 and whatever you want to say now. Or I'm sorry, 9-8, whatever you want to say now. So I'm gonna put a dub, but yeah, I could easily see that at L. I mean,
their defense is legit. They have a legit defense. JJ Watt is not.
Yeah. Oh yeah. JJ Watt's legit. Or TJ Watt. Sorry. How did I say JJ?
Because we know him better. One of those Watt brothers.
Yeah. The little brother, their version of Nick Bosa to Joey Bosa.
Yeah.
Except, I don't know. Do you think JJ's better or TJ's better?
I think TJ's better.
I mean, obviously, right now you're going to take TJ since JJ literally retired. But, I mean, overall, I think I take JJ Watt.
Right now, yeah, but TJ needs a few more years to take that. You know what I mean? If he has 5-6 years, then you probably take TJ easily, I think, because he would have a more impactful. As good as JJ was, TJ's much. He's had more game.
JJ Watt is the type of player I believe they thought Solomon Thomas was going to be. Maybe not to the level, but JJ Watt is the type of player that you're like, he's a corner. Like when you are starting fresh for an organization and you're saying, hey, we're trying to bring in our type of people who do it the right way, who are going to, embody what a Niner means. It's the JJ Watt type of player. Maybe not the skill set, but that just solid rock. So I think you're right. I think career-wise, you'll say TJ. No name biased included.
But let's talk 3-4 years.
JJ Watt is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
If JJ Watt doesn't get into the first ballot Hall of Fame, I mean, and you're a Texas fan, I would protest Anyway, do we even need to go into our practice home opener? I mean,
right. That's why I was like, oh, look, we got a home game week 2.
Yeah, right. We're not even going to get into that. I do not like opening Thursday night because as a season ticket holder, this is the way I'm looking at this game. This is a lifelong dream. Okay, like anybody listening to the show right now, Jason, yourself, anybody, the many season ticket holders that have commented on my post and reached out to me and everything, to welcome me into this fam. My lifelong dream has been a season ticket holder. The first game I get to go to, the Giants. I'm not tripping. Damn good opponent, right? All right. Fuck the Giants. I remember. I can't even speak on it because we know the rant, but we all remember 2011. I'm old enough to remember the comeback in 2003.
It's an old opponent. It's an old opponent.
Lightweight. I bet you, if you talk to 80s Niners, I bet you they put this above the Cry Girls as a rivalry. Yeah, we played them way more than the Cry Girls in the 80s.
Yeah, I can see that.
Giants way more.
Yeah, and more meaningful games too. Not just we play them.
Ask Ronnie Lott, who is most feared. We all seen the picture of him and Phil Simms. I remember it was bullshit. I forget who the player was, but he told him that he told Ronnie Lott, Phil Simms said he doesn't respect you. And that's why Ronnie was going off. And he said, I tried to tell Ronnie I was kidding, but he was just, he was in his zone. He was Ronnie Lottie. He was going to murder people that day. It would not surprise me if Ronnie Lott killed somebody on the field that day. He didn't, but it would have surprised me if it happened. If he hit somebody that hard that day. Ask him if he really thought the Cry Girls or the Giants were more of a rival. He would have. I guarantee you, he'd say the Giants.
Yeah, I
ask Joe Montana, who the Giants damn near ended his. The Giants ended Joe Montana, damn near ended his career, and then ended his career, or at least his Niner career. Go ask Joe Montana how he feels about the Giants. Now, the 90s Niners, it's Cry Girls.
Yeah.
But the 80s Niners, I guarantee you, they would say the Giants. Cool. But you mean to tell me on a Thursday night? Yeah, I'm going to take the day off. So whatever, I'll get turned. It'll be whatever. I'm born ready, all that. But, bro, we just can't have it on a Sunday.
Yeah.
I
would have liked that better if it was a divisional opponent to open up Thursday night game rather than
week 2.
You'd switch that with the Cardinals or the LA to the Thursday night to open the schedule at home. Okay, I get it, but not the Giants. But I understand it's an old division rival or conference rivalry. I get it.
Rival.
Yeah.
But you switch it to week 2. You have it at night, so it's not the weather is not an issue, or at least for majority of the game.
And then you have the Rams coming in on Thursday. That makes much more sense.
You switch week 3.
Yeah.
And we go to LA for Thursday, or you have it be a home game and you have back. I don't know, whatever. Week 4, week 5, obviously super juice. My first Niner regular season, not preseason Niner Cry Girl game. I get to go to. Man,
that should be a good one. That should definitely be a good one.
I ain't gonna lie. This kind of was one of the reasons I decided this year to get season tickets. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, look, this is a game I wanted to go to my whole life. Tickets have always been ridiculously expensive. So and they are. But
it's the Sunday night game too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Sunday night.
Oh yeah.
Primetime Shanahan. Hold on, I believe it's in the notes here. Let me see. The series against the Giants is tied 21-21 in regular season and playoffs. That's dope. That's pretty sick, actually. The series is tied between the Cry Girls 19-19-1. I'm so fired up. Okay,
it's not bad you get 2 of those even series like that with opponents that back to back.
So are there any games realistically that you could see us losing as far as up to week 5?
If I had, I would say week 1, and then the Cowboys.
Yeah.
If
I ain't gonna lie. If I take off my Niner hat, look, as much shit as we all talk to them about it and everything like that. Oh,
the Cowboys did get better through the draft and everything with some of the.
If I take off my Niner hat, You know, as I just did, I took off my Niner hat. Are they a good football team? Yeah. If Dak Prescott doesn't throw 2 picks, you know, and those are field goal or touchdown drives, do we have a different ball game? Hell yeah. You know, if Brock Purdy just had one rookie moment, it would have just been one rookie moment, which you really couldn't blame him for, right? Like, I mean, could everybody just hate Brock Purdy for having a rookie moment?
They
You
would.
know? I mean, they would. But, like, I mean, realistically, like, it's like, okay, like, I mean, the man was the last pick of the draft. Like, I
How much
mean,
worse can he quote unquote be?
I mean, look, the fact that he completed a pass was literally the first forward pass attempted in an NFL game by a Mr. Irrelevant. So he made history with this first completed pass, his first pass, which I believe was completed. I don't know. We were there, but I was kind of drunk.
Just a wee bit.
Look, I ain't gonna lie. One of the only things that ever I remember from that game is I remember your boy handing me the last beer. And I remember the throw to Kittle during the 2-minute drive in the first half. When I was like, holy shit, we might have some, like, because that was the first throw that really impressed me. And I was like, all right, because it was an all-out blitz. I mean, it was clearly they were doing they were playing how you play a rookie 101.
Yeah.
And he was beating it.
I still remember the look on all of our faces, and they're like, Brock Purdy coming in. We all sobered up real quick. Like, what?
Real quick. I remember looking at you. I was like, Jimmy's out of the game. And what people got to understand about our mindset, first play, Tyreek Hill 75 yards, or no, Trent Sherfield 75 yards to the house.
Yep.
Right? We go 3 and out. Right? Out comes Jimmy, you know, or I'm listening to the game at the radio because at this point we were getting into the stadium, and they're talking about the Jimmy's going off in the cart. So like you got to understand our mindset at this, and how much like you know Jason paid some serious loot on this trip. So like trust me, I mean like I felt pretty. If it wasn't for visiting my mom. You know, Denver would have been a total waste of money to me.
I wouldn't say it was a honestly, waste, but damn, it's just like holy fuck.
So, well, no, it wasn't. We won the game, so it's never a waste. So what? At worst, 3-2. I'm gonna say 5-0.
5-0.
Yeah,
I'll say 4.
The first one that worries me is Cleveland.
Why? They are terrible. They're absolutely, their defense is absolutely terrible.
Then, I mean, because I'm looking at this, because I'm sitting there and I'm saying, okay, do I really see us losing? Could we beat every single, just individually in the game? Not saying about 17-0, just individually each game. The team, to me, that I say has the best chance of beating us is obviously the Eagles, but I don't believe that. Sure, we'll talk when we get to week 13, but I don't feel worried. I feel more confident. I feel this confident because you could say whatever they did from the draft. Look, they're a strong enough roster that how many of their rookies are really going to make an impact this year? So, how many rookies are going to make an impact this year? And we took Javon Hargrave. I'm just saying for the Eagles, right? Well, they're strong enough roster.
Their 2 first rounds will probably play quite a bit.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. So your first round picks.
What's going on with this? I don't know what's going on with it.
Yeah. Go ahead and handle that, bro. So. Okay, obviously the Eagles are 1A, 1B best team in the NFC. So, but we're not going 17-0. So you mean to tell me we've came up off the hype of the Giants game? We've come up off the hype of the Cry Girls game. We go to Cleveland at 10 a.m. I mean, I understand. I honestly believe I'll have to look this up. This is if I would have had time this week. This would be one of the things I had to put in the notes. I believe the Niners have a winning record in 10 a.m. games. Jason, if you can hear me, your mic and camera isn't connected. But let me see. It won't even let me add him. Okay, there he goes. He's gonna go handle it. So, I mean, really at worst, and you know what? Let's get into this factor. The team doesn't start fast. So week 1 is the one that worries me. I don't see us losing to the Yams. It's going to be a close game. Closer would possibly make our buttholes tight, sure. But how healthy is Matthew Stafford? They don't have Jalen Ramsey. We just own him. So I 1-1, 2-0. I don't see us losing to the Giants. I mean, yeah, sure, the Thursday night factor might come into it. Niners for life, baby. Yee! I see you, baby. But 2-1, 3-0. I really, honestly, I'm not with Jason. I don't think we're gonna lose to the Cry Girls because at the end of the day, well, this is a factor. Because tell me who the quarterback is. Because Trey beat the Cry Girls. Hell, Brock didn't even have the greatest game. But to me, I just feel, yeah, 11, 12 games at least. Honestly, I mean, it's just really hard for me to say, oh, we're going to lose these games because it's like, I mean, could we lose to Jacksonville? Yeah. Like, where you play, when you play, that matters. Going across country, we rack up 30,000 miles. More than we racked up last year. We had, the only playoff game we went on the road for was the NFC Championship. I mean, Brock Purdy, when healthy, Brock Purdy is going to be the starter unless Sam Darnold or Trey Lance, specifically Trey Lance, I mean, then tell me who the 3 healthy quarterbacks are on this team. Because we are keeping 3 quarterbacks on this team this year. We kept 3 last year. I mean, you there, bro?
Is this actually working now?
We got the George Kittle, but we got the sound.
Okay, so you can at least hear me now.
Yeah. So we'll rock with this. So, but I was going over the schedule, and I mean, we'll get to whether Trey gets traded or not. But I mean, Sung-Yu, please tell me who is the 3 healthy quarterbacks on this team then? Because beyond, like, we cannot deny the fact that every single year except 2019, multiple quarterbacks have played for this team due to our starter getting injured. So you're going to trade away a quarterback that you still don't know. You invested all this in, and you've said that you're still high on Trey. So either you're pumping it up to get traded, or you really believe that. Like, because ultimately, I don't think they're going to get what they want, because they have to believe that they have to believe that the third quarterback this year is going to play some.
Well, there's two sides with this one. One, I kind of agree, but okay, so say let's throw somebody's name out there. Say Tua goes down, for example, or actually any starter, especially if they're a top 15 team. I think whoever that team is immediately picks up the phone. If Kirk Cousins goes down, they immediately call the Niners.
Oh,
they're immediately. But
Kirk Cousins goes down, they're trading for Trey Lance, because even at the very least,
would they?
Well, at the very least, even if the season goes in the tank, hey, come check out the local kid resurrect his career.
Who's to say they wouldn't be looking to look at Sam Darnold?
You think? I think they're higher on right now. I think they're higher on Sam Darnold than they are Trey Lance.
I'm just saying, the way this team, if you look at the way some of the stuff between Lynch and Shanahan and what they've been saying and the way they've been pumping it up, I think there's more to just this being picked up with them having faith in Sam Darnold over Trey. And I'm not saying that I personally want that. I mean, remember during that draft, I pumped up Trey for how long?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trey was clearly who you wanted.
Yeah. So, I mean, I still want to see Trey play, because we really haven't seen damn near anything out of him for the most part. So, but with the way they're talking, it almost seems like they would rather go with like Darnold, Allen, wait for Purdy, who all of a sudden might have like the greatest comeback of all time with the way he's healing. Yeah. So it's almost like they are waiting for something to happen. You know,
look, if somebody calls and offers you of anything of value for Sam Darnold, you trade him immediately.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
Because at the very least, you know what you get with Sam Darnold versus what you think you might get with Trey. I think that's what a lot of the thing comes down to, why people might actually be interested in Sam Darnold, simply because you know what you're getting.
Look, do I think, I have been on the record that I think Sam Darnold will Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
I think, 55, 65? Whatever. He's played enough games that I understand situations and everything like that. And do I think he could be comparable? Yes. Because he doesn't need to be what he was drafted to be. Look, get the ball to George Kittle. Get the ball to CMC. Get the ball to Debo. Get the ball to Brandon Ayuk. Get the ball to Juwan Jennings.
Do you know that he won
the ball to Elijah Mitchell
in the NFL, going 4 of 16 for 46 yards? They won with 2 interceptions. The man was. They won that. And people used to complain about Jimmy going, 19 of 23 for 160 yards.
Yeah.
He threw 46 yards with 2 interceptions, and they won. I was just like, oh my God.
Ultimately, I think what will cost Sam Darnold his job is the turnovers. I think we have a good enough defense that it might not cost us a lot of games, depending on when they come. But it won't, even Kyle will have to admit this ain't sustainable. Especially with, let's be real, if Sam or Trey are playing, we have questions of when is Brock coming back? Fine, we could discuss that. And I'm not saying he's done for the season. But if Trey or Brock play week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, when is Brock coming back? So I'm almost of the point where let's see if we're gonna go down with the ship, if this is the Titanic, then I'd rather go down with Trey than Sam Darnold.
Oh, I agree. I'd rather see what's there versus what we're probably going to get with Sam Darnold.
I mean, even if it's a tie, like to me, Sam Darnold, I just feel he has to prove more. And people say, well, the locker room wasn't in on Trey. And I say, I understand that. And if it looks as bad as it did last year, well, then the answer is sealed. You know, I'm operating with somewhat of what people don't seem to think could have happened, which is maybe Trey Lance got a little bit better.
Well, did you hear Shanahan talk about his injury?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point. Is you know, when you listen to Dave Lombardi talk about it, he's like, look back at the 2021 season. They clearly had a plan to operate the 2-quarterback system. Now, there are some, I don't want to say rumors, there are some whispers that the players weren't having it. Regardless, let's not be real. The home opener, it was Trey Lance's touchdown with 1 second left in the second quarter that got the game to 17-7.
Yep.
That started the comeback. So even up to week 3, they were using him. Then all of a sudden, he stopped use. He's being stopped being used. Well, why? Well, then when you look back and say, oh, he got hurt. He had his finger injury that didn't heal right. And he also had the knee. Jimmy goes down. He starts the 2 games. Jimmy comes back. Finger ain't healed. Like everything kind of lines up. Then you got 2022. Okay, well, you got to relearn how to grip the football. Yeah, I can understand why that led to some errant passes. Some of the bad passes that shit, I ain't gonna lie, I saw at camp. So I think the one thing I'm real down on Trey Lance is I don't think his running is what they think it was.
Yeah. Did you want me to put the draft stuff or the schedule stuff and keep going back?
Yeah. Go ahead. So
all
we
right.
can pop through this real quick. So what? So we're at Cleveland.
Yep.
So what do you have us after week 6, Jason? I have us 5-1.
I'll go 4-2 just to play devil's advocate. Losing to the Steelers in the home opener, and then and the Giants. I'll give it that. I'll give the Giants on Thursday night.
The Giants.
Yep.
Okay. I would see that, and we'll call it the Thursday night factor.
Exactly. That's where I'm going with that one.
You know, I'm hoping that being in LA, you know, it won't be as much of a factor. And I would love this if the Giants were Sunday and the Cardinals were Thursday.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Even if you switch them. Even
Yeah.
if you switch them, have the Cardinals on September 21st and the Giants on October 1st. Maybe the Giants play LA the week after or something like that. There might be some conflicting reason for that. Okay, so 4-2, 5-1. Minnesota Monday night. I'm really torn about this one because if Minnesota's good, that place is gonna be fucking rocking.
Yeah, I'll get that stupid horn blowing.
Yep, and the skull and all that insane.
That shit is pretty cool. I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah, but my mother-in-law is gonna be insufferable that week. She's a Vikings fan. Which is funny because her parents are from Minnesota. Neither of them are Viking fans, and she's from Chicago, or was born in Chicago, but she's a Vikings fan.
That's all over the place.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing ever.
Well, it's just like in my family, I'm a Niners fan. You know, we're all from Hawaii.
Yeah.
I'm a Niners fan. My dad was a Raiders fan. My older brother's a Steelers fan. My little brother's a fucking Dolphins fan. It's like, where the hell is everybody in this house?
Well, at least Hawaii you could make the claim doesn't have a team. Like, yeah, we all know majority of Hawaiians are Niner fans,
Yeah.
but at least you can have a claim of no team. Like, there's literally, she was born in Chicago. Her dad's a Bears fan.
Yeah.
Like, but she's a Vikings fan. Weirdest thing ever. But I mean, she grew up a lot in the 70s, and they're cracking in the 70s.
Well, I know a lot of older people here who were actually Niners fan pre the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Because, obviously the Niners were in the league first. So the closest team to Seattle at the time was San Francisco. A lot of them were also Denver fans. Then the Seahawks came around, and all of a sudden they switched, which, that makes perfectly good sense. So I know a lot of older people who are actually old Niner fans who switched over to the Seahawks.
Oh, yeah. That type of shit happens all the time.
Yeah.
I promise you, majority of people, and I won't speak too much about this or brag or anything because I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but I haven't kept up with basketball in a while. But majority of the people that scream Warriors the loudest and everything were Lakers fans in the early 2000s. I know this.
Oh, I put money on that. I would absolutely put money on that.
Oh, bro, I'm telling you, I know this personally. There are very few, and I give them their flowers. I give them the ultimate respect. There are very few people who I knew rocking with the Warriors back then.
Oh, they're terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Nobody was a Warriors
for the longest time. They had a couple of years when they had.
We believe in my lifetime before the Steph Curry era.
Yeah.
We believe were the best the Warriors were. Oh, and then when they had the Chelsea one.
There's Mullins and what are the other three guys?
It was Chris Mullins and Latrell Sprewell and Chris Townsend.
Yeah, I forget what the nickname was back then, but it lasted 3
Run
years?
CMC.
That's what it was.
It was Run DMC.
That lasted 3, maybe 4 years?
I think it was something like that until Latrell Sprewell choked out Don Nelson.
Yeah.
I totally remember. Right. That's one of the very few things I remember from that non-Laker things or Michael Jordan things that I remember of basketball that wasn't from my childhood. Is when the Chelsea Sprewell choked out his coach. But anyway, but Kirk, I'm torn because that's home field advantage, especially if they're good. But Kirk Cousins doesn't win on Monday night.
No, I think that's going to be the big fight, and which he did kind of get rid of that last year a little bit.
Cool, but
it's
Kirk Cousins beat this defense?
No, and I don't think they've done anything with their offensive line to actually get better, whereas our defensive line has gotten better. So just with that factor alone, I still think we beat the Vikings.
The Bengals, this one worries me.
Yeah, the Bengals are a fucking top 3-4 team in the league.
Joe Burrow could beat this defense.
Joe Burrow is everything Baker Mayfield wants to be.
And see, the thing about this is what is it? 9 playoff teams. So at this point, you got the Giants,
Cowboys,
the Cry Girls,
Vikings, and
Vikings and Bengals. All playoff teams.
I think we play the most playoff games. We don't have the hardest schedule, but I think we play the most playoff teams.
And we're the only playoff team with 2 Thursday nights. To me, so you're just gonna get up for every one of those games. Fine, this team gets up for big games, but you're gonna not have a down game against Cleveland. Yeah. You're gonna just get and you're going into the bye, right?
After a long stretch, because we're going with the Cowboys
8 weeks
at the Browns,
pretty much half the season.
Yep, at the Vikings, then coming home for the Bengals. I mean,
and let's be real. At this point, it's pressure to beat the Yams.
Yeah.
So you go into the bye. Jacksonville, sure, sneaky close game. Who's the quarterback? Is a question here.
Oh, if
but
we
I
switch
don't see
over,
us
if Brock
losing.
doesn't come back or doesn't come back to
Yeah,
bye,
Brock doesn't come back.
yeah, this is the game where everybody wants him
Whatever.
inserted.
I'm just who's the quarterback? Is it Trey? But then you gotta ask, is Trey beating the Cry Girls? You gotta ask yourself that as a legit question, Jason. If Trey Lance is the starting quarterback, for let's just say Kyle says Brock's coming back after the bye, and Trey's gonna be our starter till then. It's Trey's job to lose. Trey plays well enough. Let's be real. If Trey Lance plays well enough, Brock Purdy's not coming back. Brock Purdy's not getting the job back. If Trey Lance becomes any reasonable amount that we could expect of what we expected it when we drafted him. The man who Wally pipped Trey Lance is getting Wally pipped. For those who don't know, Wally Pipp is the man who Cal Ripken Jr. replaced. He got hurt, and that's what gave Cal Ripken Jr. His first start, and he literally started every game at shortstop.
What,
I want to say for the rest of his, yeah,
it's like 2,900 games or some crazy thing like that.
Yeah, like that's why they say Wally pipped. He got hurt and then literally never got his shot back. And this the old sports analogy, you can't lose your job to injury.
And I think no matter what, win, lose, or whatever, against whatever the hell the record is come Cincinnati, if we are 0-8, I don't give a damn. We need to know what is going to be who the starter is come bye week. Come bye week, whoever's going to be, that person needs to be solidified the rest of the season. Either you stick with Trey or tell Sam Darnold if he's playing good or whatever. I don't think it has to be done by the bye week. We make a decision for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Coming in, so everything going the way we expected to do. I'm not seeing us losing to Jacksonville. Tampa Bay is going to be terrible.
Yeah,
we go to the part of the schedule that we both hate the most.
And while it is the Hawks, it's not. I could put in either the Rams or the Cardinals as to why I hate these 3 weeks so much.
Yeah. Yep. And especially when you tell me, so you got Thursday, you got Thanksgiving,
which is going to be fun up here.
Oh, bruh. I ain't gonna lie. If this situation doesn't, I'll put it to you this way. Regardless of whatever happens, I want to go to this so fucking bad.
I just think it's going to just be fun just because.
Look, I would sacrifice. You don't understand how much I would really sacrifice for this, Jason. You know what I'm saying?
I tell you what, ticket prices are, they're insane.
We'll talk later. I'm I know it's going to be a couple G's, for this trip. Because we don't plan just for a couple days. We're gonna my best friend is like 80 miles away. He's like, bro, I'm eating shit out. I'll come stay at my place for a little bit.
Yeah, me and Mac already figured out what we're doing. We're just trying to figure out what everybody else is doing.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll talk off air about that. But schedule-wise, fine, we get hyped up for this one, right?
And it's a little mini bye week afterwards. So there's that.
Which I love. I love. Which Jason, now of course, health, all that, whatever, would you rather have it week 1 or the way you look at it, basically having a mini bye week? Basically having 2 bye weeks within 1, 2, 3 weeks.
You talking about going against the Eagles?
Yeah.
I want that.
I like it the way it is.
I still want it week 1.
No.
I want all that smoke week 1. Like, let's get
but
let's not
we the
wait
healthiest
13. I don't care. I want week 1.
I don't want to
wait
out of the way. 2 weeks.
Exactly. I don't want to wait that long. Give it to me straight off the bat.
Truthfully, I want it the week after the bye.
I think you hype yourself up too much after the bye. I think you get so focused on that one thing that you overlook other things.
And this is why I'm worried. I'm worried about these Seahawks games. Because, like we just said, you're going to get up for every game. Jason, what's the game that's circled on this team's schedule? What's the Super Bowl this year?
Yeah.
Like, come on. And you know what? You know what would really, truly tell me if this Niner team's ready to win a championship this year? If they don't act like this is their Super Bowl. If they say, I'm not gonna ask them to act it like it's another week, because it's not. You feel me? But don't get so overhyped about this game that the Seahawks game the next week doesn't matter. The Cardinals game the next week doesn't matter. The Baltimore Ravens game, that's probably the one that matters the least. And the Commanders might be a sneaky 7 seed team.
Yeah.
And then the Yams. So 3 out of the last 5 weeks are division games. So let's not super hype up the Eagles game like, okay, the season's over now, and forget this rest of 5 weeks. Because if we win this game, but we go 1-4 the next week, then beating the Eagles is not going to mean shit for the 2023 season, because we won't be in contention for the first overall seed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and like I said, that's part of the reason why I want that in week 1.
Like, treat it with the respect it's due. It is a big game. Of course, we're going to talk so much shit, going to be so fired up. I'm probably going to be faded. Love the fact it's 125. You feel me? This is going to get – if this is the game we all think it's going to be flexed to Sunday night. Right? Can we be real? Like, Who do they have? Let me see. I'm going to look it up right now. This is week 13?
Yeah. What are you looking up?
13 NFL schedule. I'm looking up who plays Sunday night. Who do they have scheduled Sunday night right now? Week 13 is Chiefs Packers. Man. You mean to tell me? Come on, bro. You mean to tell me the NFL is trying to sell us Chiefs Packers over Eagles Niners on Sunday Night Football? Yeah, okay.
Well, the selling point to that is going to be Jordan Love. Is he going to be good enough to get Pat or replace Rodgers?
And they're not. This game's going to be flexed. This is the NFL protecting themselves to make sure Niners-Eagles lives up to the hype.
But aren't they at the limit of primetime games?
They're still going to flex it. And they'll take them. They're going to flex it, bro. You cannot have this at 1 o'clock on 125.
And the good thing is you get it done and over with.
I mean, true. I ain't gonna lie. I actually kind of like that more. Let the hype build up less. So that's my worry about the Eagles, is don't let this game. Don't act like this game is week 18 and this is for all the marbles, because it isn't. Because if we don't take care of business the rest of the 5 weeks, winning this game is probably not going to matter.
Yeah, especially when 4 of those 5 are going to be conference games.
Conference, and 3 out of the 5 are going to be divisional.
Yeah,
that's half our division schedule right there. Yep. And half our division schedule. So this little schedule, I mean, let's be real. I expect us, Baltimore, besides the Eagles, the last little stretch, those 5 games, Baltimore is the only team that scares me.
Commanders are kind of scary. I ain't gonna lie. Like, their defense is legit.
Yeah,
it's also
the fact it's a 10 o'clock game across country. Is it raining? Is it snowing? It's New Year's, Eve day.
It's probably going to be cold as shit and snow. So, yeah. But that's also when the running game we have takes over.
What's the hell? Is Elijah Mitchell, is he back from his, bruised knee, or You know,
Yeah.
um,
Is he fully back? Not just
Yes.
like
Is he
the
fully
part-time stuff
back?
he was doing. Like, is he fully back?
like he
You
could
know.
tote the rock this game.
Yeah. How much have we used CMC to keep us in some of these other
Yes.
games? His last three, with
Oh,
the
I
stretch
mean,
between Seattle and the Eagles.
it's yeah. So this is look. When I say I don't like the schedule, I mean I still see us winning 13, 14 games because we're gonna have to win 13, 14 games to be first conference, right?
Yeah, easily. Because the Eagles are probably the NFC East is pretty legit.
Do they split with the Cry Girls? We'll
I
see
honestly
when we
think,
get there.
but
I can
they
see
should
that.
win their division. They should win their division.
They should win it. Yeah, they should win it. But I don't think they're going to win it. You know, we're
Minimum
wrapping it up. You know,
11.
like I'll put it to you this way: the Eagles, besides the conference, you know, with us being, you know, let's say their only threat at reigning NFC, you know, conference champions, you know, number one seed back to back years, is us is the serious legit threat. I would see them also having divisional things to play for. You know, and if they lose this game, you know, what's the rest of their schedule like? What's their conference record? You know,
Yeah.
like, do they have 3 losses at this point? But all of them have been in this conference, so now we're the 4th conference loss.
I mean, we are also talking about
You know,
a game on December 3rd, and it is what, May 16th.
yeah,
We've got a long way to
so
go.
much could happen. So much could happen. Like I said, tell me who the quarterback is this game for many, many, many reasons.
Not only who's the quarterback, but how many times they've started. Is it, you know, Brock just now coming back, and Trey played the whole season?
Yeah, exactly. Because if Trey Lance, if all quarterbacks are healthy and Trey Lance is playing this game, he's a franchise quarterback.
Working his way
because you're not starting Trey Lance this game if Brock Purdy is healthy, unless he's proven he's worthy of the number 3 overall pick. Because he would have had to have done it.
Either he would have proven himself, or everybody else is injured and we're still sticking with him because he's obviously, you know, obviously we're hoping that he has proven himself by then.
Yes. Look, if Trey Lance is starting this game, I ultimately think that's a positive thing, just because it means, like, I would just say week 13, Brock Purdy's back. I mean, if everything I've heard from and Kyle in the Dwight Clark series, it didn't sound like he let it slip. It just sounded like casually stating it when he said Brock coming back in training camp. And like he just said it like, you know, and so
it's a for sure thing. Put money on it.
They expect Brock to I'm thinking they expect Brock to be back. Now, when in training camp, are you going to throw him out there week 1 against Pittsburgh? You know, maybe does the fact of going the Thursday night, does that factor into it? And when you say, hey, look, if we start in week 4, pretty much every game's either a Sunday or a Monday, minus Thanksgiving. And let's be real, Brock Purdy's broken in by Thanksgiving. You know, he'll have other issues to probably deal with, you know, just normal wear and tear by Thanksgiving. If he got out of that Eagles game completely healthy, he'd probably just have nicks and bruises by Thanksgiving, you know, playing 11 games of NFL football. So if Trey Lance, so ultimately, Jason, record-wise, just May 16th, looking at that paper, initial thoughts?
12-5.
12-5.
And a lot of that has to do with, I think that the record could be a lot better, but the back and forth, short week, back and forth. I think some of that is going
so many
to add
primetime
up.
games.
Yeah. So I think some of that will add up.
I will say this: the team, minus 2019, the team started slow.
Every year they started slow.
So what? 3-5, or what was it last year? It was 4-4.
Yeah, I think
that'd be
4,
week
4,
8.
3-3.
So that's up until Cincinnati. So you have up until the bye week, basically, is essentially record-wise when the team starts to struggle.
So they would lose
or
to what?
slow.
Steelers, Cowboys, Vikings, Bengals.
So
beat the Rams, Giants, Browns, and Cardinals.
I could see that. Maybe flip the Giants Cardinals game.
Yeah.
But I could also see us going, 9 and what? How many weeks are left? 3, 6, 9.
Damn, you're fine.
Okay, no, I can't see us going 9-0. If we're 4-4 at the bye week, I don't see us going 9-0.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we went how long last year?
I mean, just
we went 8.
I could see 6-2.
Yeah.
7-1.
So 10-6.
Maybe that Ravens game or the Commanders game, or maybe even week 18 we don't have anything to play for. If you tell me we beat the Eagles, if we win the last 5, if we go 5-0, starting with the Eagles, I can see that Yams game not even meaning anything.
Yeah.
We'll hold the tiebreaker against the Eagles.
Good chance, yeah. Maybe it means something for the Rams, but not us.
Yeah, maybe something for the Yams, not us. I mean, honestly, is Matthew Stafford the quarterback week 18, or is his arm fell off?
Well, they did draft the quarterback from Mr. Irrelevant from Georgia.
Hey, back-to-back Mr. Irrelevant years. Maybe that's what happens. Mr. Irrelevant comes in and breaks the Niner curse. Or ends the streak. Like Nick Mullins did against the Seahawks in 2018. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. Jason, final thoughts?
Besides, I mean, I am excited for the schedule, especially for the game up here in Seattle. Cannot wait for it. But overall, I hate the schedule. So many back-to-back games, the body clock adjustment games. And I can see it possibly later, especially late in the season, just wearing on them. Maybe we stay over on the East Coast for a few of these ones that are, just to make it easier. But that's just the way I see it. I don't like it. But I still think we end up with, minimum 11 wins.
Yeah, definitely minimum 11 wins. I mean, speaking as a season ticket holder, 3 prime time, a Monday night, a Sunday night, and a Thursday night. So, pretty much every and possibly a Saturday night, or a Saturday afternoon game. So you tell me we cover the whole spectrum.
You're going to get to experience all of it this year.
Yeah, that I would say minus the home opener. If you switched, like I said, you switched the Cardinals game with the, or whatever like that, as far as, made it a the home opener Sunday, I would have no complaints about the home schedule.
Yeah.
Especially the one thing is people are talking about the non-back-to-back East Coast trips. We don't have any of those. We make 5 individual trips out to the East Coast, 4 10 o'clock games.
Fucking terrible, man.
My thing about that is, what does that do for the home schedule? Because the only game we've won on coming back from those back-to-back East Coast games, the only game we won is 2019 in Pittsburgh against Pittsburgh, which consequently was a home opener. So to me, that bodes well for home wins. Now, does that wear and tear on the team more by the time we get to week 18? Hopefully divisional round because we have the bye week. The conference championship, the Super Bowl, yeah, that probably does. 30,000 miles will rack up. Where's the Super Bowl this year?
I have no idea where it is this year.
Let me ask. What was Super Bowl we on? Super Bowl.
I do hate also, as you saw this, that one of the Saturday night playoff game will only be streamed on Peacock. Did you see that shit?
Oh God,
it's terrible, man. So think that could be a game that is at home. Not many people are going to actually see. Because
I mean, I'll put it to you this way: I don't personally know. It is in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
So I will say this: at least potentially, we have the ability to not leave the West Coast for the playoffs. That will be a huge advantage after traveling the second most miles in the NFL.
Yeah, if you went home field advantage and then just drive up to fucking Vegas kind of a thing, that'd be pretty nice.
Yeah, that would be dope. So overall, the schedule is what it is. Do I see this being a schedule that prevents the Niners from competing for the number 1 seed in the conference? No.
If you had to take, which games do you think I think right now we're only not favored in one. Obviously the Eagles. Is there other ones you could see where we wouldn't be favored?
Maybe the Ravens.
I could possibly see the Vikings. The Vikings are hot. Hot going into that game. Yeah. We're still looking a little iffy. I could see some.
Yeah.
I can see that flipping a little bit.
But Bengals. Pittsburgh, we're going to be favored. LA, you would have to favor us. The Giants would be favored. Cardinals, Cry Girls, you would have to favor us.
Yep. Browns, yeah.
Browns, you're going to favor us. Okay, Vikings. Bengals?
Maybe. I could see the Bengals being favored. Well, you might be even on that one because it's a home. So that might be a draw.
Yeah. Well, home team usually gets plus 3.
Yeah, so you automatically get 3. So I can see that one being, straight up. Got to be over the Jaguars. Favorite of Bucks.
Yeah. Seahawks, you think we'll be favored in that? I'm sorry. You can't not favor us against the team we beat 3 times last year and blew out twice. And let's be real. If they didn't call that roughing the passer and Diamador Lenore's pick 6 counts, we blow them out. We blow them out all 3 times last year. So ultimately, I think that's what's going to happen with teams this year. I'm hoping that what keeps us afloat is those first 8 weeks, you see a lot of close games. But ultimately, we become too much for teams. Maybe
come bye week, because we always have that notoriously slow start. Say we go 4-4, then we start hitting our stride, and after the bye week and everything.
Yeah. The key to me to the season is to be hitting our stride going into that Eagles game. Like that Eagles game jump boards us through the rest of the season. You got that mini bye, freshen up, and then attack the final 6 games. And I think those final 6 games will determine where the 2023 season ultimately ends up. All right, Jason, we'll go ahead and I'll let you know what's cracking, bro. And
all right, man. Yep. Yeah. Good stuff, and we'll talk to you next time.
Yep. Yeah. All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I'll see y'all next week or the week after. Stay tuned on our social media. We'll let y'all know. Till then, faith, love, and happiness. Go Niners.